you are. This is Amateur Radio Doors, and today we're going to be talking very briefly about Weather Fax. With you is Hotel Bravo 9, Hotel Juliet Uniform, also known as Hotel India 8 India Lima Oscar, or Kilo Charlie 7 India Lima Oscar. The name is Luis, and we are based in Switzerland. So Weather Fax. Weather Fax is a technology designed more specifically for marine operators, basically boats in the middle of the sea that may or may not have internet access. And it's a very old technology. Originally, it started in the 1920s, 30s as a physical drum with a line, a very single line, powered by electricity. And what happened there was, depending on, you had the drum with a paper, and this paper was rolling. And depending on the strength of the signal, what will happen is that the bigger the strength of the signal, the bigger the voltage that was applied to this point in the paper as it was rolling. And so more voltage or more signal meant, in this case, more the blacker the page was going to get. And so line by line, you had this image that was forming. And as you can see here on the screen, it's the same concept. So Weather Fax, what it's doing is scanning an image, and line by line, it's taking this image and is printing the image on the screen. So how do you receive weather faxes? So let's talk a little bit about that. So first step would be go into configuring FLDIGI. So you should be installing this application, FLDIGI. I'm running on a Raspberry Pi, and there are specific instructions on how to install FLDIGI for Windows. But you will search for FLDIGI, and you will be installing FLDIGI either for Windows, Mac, or Linux. In my case, Raspberry Pi. It's a very simple step. I'm not going to cover the installation steps, but in order to configure it, what you would do, as with everything else, you would select a sound card, and you will select a radio. So in the case of the sound card, you would be selecting your sound card for capture or playback. And in the case of your radio, you will be selecting, in my case, I am selecting FLRig as my radio, and I'm configuring FLRig here for the KX3. And again, I'm not going to cover the specifics on how to configure your radio, but in my specific case, I will be selecting FLRig for the KX3, and in doing so, any other software that I'm configuring is just a matter of only selecting FLRig as radio. So it functions as a middleman between your radio and any software. That way you don't have to configure your rig for every software. You only do it once. Once your radio and your sound card are configured, and by the way, if you have configured FT8 or if WGTX or any other audio-based software, you already have it. It's already done. So it's a very simple process. Once that's done, next step for you is going to be searching for the specific frequencies. I'm going to be putting some links where you can find those frequencies, but let me just go ahead and show you here some of the frequencies. So you can go to this website, sigidwiki.com, and it has a WeFax option. And as you can see, it gives you an idea how the signal look. So the signal is a 3 kilohertz bandwidth signal, and you have more information about how the signal looks. You can also listen to the signal, and let's do that for a second. And that's how a weather fax signal will look. This is actually real time right now, and this is an SDR in the University of Twente, and this is the same signal that I'm receiving, which is a signal from Northwood in the UK. So it's a very simple signal. Let's go back, and in this website you will also find how does it sound when you have a signal that is about to start. This is, in this case, this is a 120 lines per minute signal. A 240 lines per minute signal would be like this. In my case, if you are starting to listen, this is how it sounds when you are starting to capture an image. When you have the actual fax coming in, so every change that you listen is a signal, and the signal has a black bar in the beginning, so you can actually listen when the bar starts, and the end of transmission as well. And so in order to see the frequencies, you have some links here. So this one, there you go. And this document is a very important document. This is a list of all the frequencies and broadcast schedules from NOAA, but it captures every single frequency in the world where you can capture weather fax. So it's a very long document, but if you want to find, for example, frequencies for Europe, or for North America, South America, Asia. So, for example, for people in the Caribbean, best way to capture a signal would be New Orleans in Louisiana. And for people in Europe, you can select from any of those. But for me, the specific one that has worked is Northwood in the United Kingdom. So let's go back to BNC, and I'm working here with a Raspberry Pi. So what you would do is you would select a frequency, because I have my I have rig control configured with the KX3 and rig. If I change a frequency here, it will also change here and in the radio as well. So two steps that you will take. First, you input the signal here as stated by the document. For Europe, I'm using Northwood in the UK, so it will be this one, 4608.1. And then here below, you make sure that you have 120 lines per minute, and you need to select this one that says enable automatic image centering. So that will basically just center the image automatically for you. Once you have that, next step is going to be moving your squelch to a really low level, making sure that you have selected in your operational mode in here, in WeFax, you go ahead and select WeFax IOC 576. This option is very important because most weather fax transmissions are in that format, 576. Once you've done that, make sure to disable automatic frequency control. And then once the transmission starts, you have to make sure that, as you see here, that you have the left line, the right line of your center frequency in the exact middle of the transmission here of the right channel, and this one in the exact middle of your left channel. So as you can see, they have to be in the exact middle. If you do that, what will happen is that the image will be perfectly centered and you will not have any issues. Most of the times, the first transmission that you capture is not going to be perfect. So you need to, and as you can see, the transmission just ended. So you will have to tweak it a little bit. And that's it. Once you've done that, the only thing you need to do is click View, Weather Fax Image Receive, and you're done. This will start capturing images automatically for you. And you can actually leave. So interesting enough, as long as a transmission is incoming, if you have this configured, it will keep receiving images automatically for you, and it will be saving them. So you can actually be recording this and just later on, just leave it there, and later on it will show you all the images, which you can open by clicking here. And that's it. This is Weather Fax. So if you want to receive the weather in your area without internet access, this is how you do it. So this has been a really, really fast tutorial, and more than a tutorial, just an overview of how to receive weather faxes using FLDIGI, which works on Linux, Windows, or Mac OS. Same process for any operating system. Thank you for listening to this one. This has been Amateur Radio Doors, Hotel Bravo 9, Hotel Juliet Uniform, Luis. Hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.